What is up, YouTube? Today we are going to be reviewing the 3F Ultralight Backpack. Got it back up so you can see the bag that the backpack comes in. Straight from China. I bought this off of Amazon. I'll be sure to post the link down below. Looks like it. How do they have this configured? You can see it. This is obviously the top. This is the back side. So little tags. You can see the 3F and the 3F ultralight gear. I'll try to show you how I got this kind of snapped together. There, it all comes opened up. Some hip belts. And I'll pull the camera up. I'll expose all this. So there we have it there. You see you got the hip belts, which look very reflective and flashy in this particular light. And they've got like a hard cardboard in them or something. Good sized pockets. You can see that's my hand. I've got my phone on me right now, but here's a can of Lysol, just to let you know the size of that pocket. So it's a good sized pocket. Straps, nice. And obviously foamy. There's no support in the back. They do have all these straps to put a pad. There's really nothing on the bottom for it to hinge to other than the straps themselves. As we flip it over, we've got the outer shell, which is obviously the ripstop nylon, and a big mesh pouch. So yeah, that's it for now. We will well, let's take note. We got some nice big size pockets on the side. And I can get my whole hand down in there. And yeah, we'll do a review on this when we get some stuff put in it, and tell you what I think. And I'll put the link down to it below. All right, later. Just got it in. Still got the tags on it. Came in day before yesterday. So I haven't taken it out in the field yet at all, or gone on any hikes or camping with it yet. But I wanted to give you my first and initial impressions of the quality of the build, and the value for the money, and some of the details about the bag itself. You can see on this particular version of it, I put a inflatable mattress versus the close-up foam that you'll see in some of the pictures with it, so forth. But let's get right into the review. Let's get right into the review. So to begin with, strap on the top, comes right off. You got straps on the side that release the top. You can see that it rolls right up and opens up. Now there's no Velcro or anything on the inside, but what you do have is a really strong strip of vinyl or rubber, something that they put in there to give it some rigidity. Now I've just got pillows stuffed inside of this right now to give it some form, because it's just easier to look at while it's got some of the stuff in it. But we'll go through each item. Now it's made out of the ripstop nylon, so it feels very durable. The stitching on it, from what I can see, looks like it was done fairly well. I mean, I don't see any frayed edges or missed threads at all. On the outside, you've got the shock cord, which is, got other shock cords attached to the attachments there, and a big mesh pocket on the exterior. You can get a lot in there. And I've got obviously almost my whole hand in there, but you've got a lot of room in there to go. If you wanted to expand that out some, use it as the shock cords, or just take that off, stuff whatever you'd like down in there. Now on the back is where it's probably the most intriguing. You You can see this is how the straps attach from the shoulder straps to the bag itself, the load lifters. The shoulder straps themselves are made out of a nice foam with a mesh material on it. They're pretty soft. Got straps across them so that you can hang things. More shock cord stuck on there. Anybody can do that. The chest strap that's on there, and this goes for a lot of the clasps that they have on there. They're made out of this. I mean, it feels pretty durable, but the connection itself is easy to miss. And if you miss it and put enough pressure on it, you'll break off the male side of the connector. But when it's connected, it feels pretty tight. The webbing looks like it's 1/2 inch is strong. It's good webbing. Comes out. So let's take a look at the frame or the padding on the back. Now you can see it's got these straps, and I'll try to bring it up so that you can see a little bit easier. But each of the straps has a connector on the side of it here. So you can release the straps, and I'll try to release it in reverse like that, and you can go all the way around it in that capacity from the top down. It's the same way. Boom, they just pop right off. And there they go. And then you can pull it out or release the bottom ones, what have you. There's nothing on the back side. So there's absolutely no frame on it at all. So it's like a lot of the other, like Hyperlight and some of the others that have frameless packs. You can see when it drops off, there's nothing back there. The hip belt is just attached via the nylon that's down at the bottom. So the hip belts themselves have some good sized pockets on them. Let's see if I can. But you can get quite a bit down in there. Grab something that might give you. This is like a butane canister. You see, you could get quite a bit down in there. I could probably put 5 or 6 of these, maybe 5 in there. 6. But you could definitely put a large iPhone or camera, snacks, whatever you want to put in there. It'll definitely fit as long as it's about hand size. You can see that's my hand over the pocket, and it covers it fairly well. Now they're sewn on, so they're not going to pop off or be adjustable in any capacity. But they're pretty functional though. They cover almost the entire width of the hip belt. Now on the exterior of the hip belt, right underneath the nylon, is some sort of plastic or stiffening board to give it some rigidity. So you can see it pops right back to its position then. And then on the inside you've got some softer foam with a mesh over the top of it. So it's fairly comfortable when you're wearing it. Now I would say because doesn't have a frame on it, it's not going to feel like it's just necessarily floating on your hips. You're going to feel a little bit of the weight on your shoulders as I've just been testing it out thus far. But when you put your either closed-cell foam or what I was using was a Thermarest, a short Thermarest mattress that's, I can't find these anymore. I actually got this off of Facebook, Military Trail Light Small. But it's made out of a denser canvas material, feels like, or maybe a really heavy-duty nylon on there. But it's one of the self-inflating styles, and I found that it fits perfectly on there. And then because it's self-inflating, I just leave it open, and it kind of cushions and ebbs and flows with the body. Probably better than what a closed-cell foam might do. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it with the closed-cell foam yet, because this seems to work really nice. And when I go on a trip, since I'll have a child with me, she utilizes this pad, and I utilize the Nemo tensor, and so this works out very nicely. That it gives me an easy place to put this because the Thermarest does not roll up or pack away very nicely, so that actually worked out really nice. Now each one of the straps that holds whatever you want to utilize as a frame or cushion on the back, if you want to utilize anything, each one of them has a clasp so it can disconnect, and then it can be tensioned on either side so that when you're strapping it down, it doesn't go unevenly over to either side. So you can strap it down up and down or side to side if you'd like to. Now onto the sides. You've got these clasps that can connect and hold down your top if you want, or you can connect the top to itself if you want to roll it down and go that route. These straps that connect to the top are pretty long, so if you wanted to, you could utilize them to come around to the back side even further. If you had something on the back that needed a little extra stability, I wouldn't necessarily suggest that, because then you're going to have this potentially in your back. But if you had maybe some other layer underneath there, they wouldn't quite reach over. Will they reach around it? Well, I've got a pillow in it right now, so it will reach around it, but you could go that route if you'd like to. But primarily I think they're used to hold down the top, because that keeps it nice and all tightened together. Yeah, it looks good that way. Now, on either side, if you're looking at it from the side, you can see you've got bungee up here at the top, or bungee, I call it bungee, but shock cord. And then you've got shock cord running through the top of the pocket, so you can cinch the pocket down if you wanted to, and then lock it down. The pockets are really large. They're not the mesh, so they don't have any give to them outside of whatever's in your pack, giving it some give. So if you've got a super large object, it might not fit in there. I fit a whole tent in there earlier when I got a Marmot Limelight 2P, and it's like that long, and I put the whole thing down in there. It was a squeeze, but it fit. But to give you an idea of what the size of that pocket, this is a 34-ounce squirt bottle, and there, yeah, you can see it's pretty much gone down in there. But that's 34 ounces, so you could definitely fit a couple 20-ounce bottles in there, or whatever kind of water bottle you might be carrying that's hand carryable, as well as whatever else you might want to stick in there. There's definitely plenty of room, and you can cinch it down, which is really nice that you can do that if you weren't using it or had stuff in there you didn't want to get away in case you were moving around a lot. So, and it's the same on both sides. And the pockets are also at a decent angle. I don't know if that shows up very well, but you can see here the pockets are at a decent angle, so when you're reaching back, it's easier to grab stuff. They're not just straight. Because if it was up this high, it would be pretty high to grab, because it would actually be up above around your rib cage area. Now back to the front. This is just cinched down. How is this connected? So it's just connected through your standard shock cord connectors and straps. So if the shock cord on the front wasn't something that you wanted, so that you could just have free roam of the mesh pocket, you could just remove it, or even put some snaps on it that pulled it away. But the front pocket's really large, and you can get a lot of stuff on top of that. Now, let's see, what else did we miss? On the top, you've got a strap that goes over the top, so if you had something like, I don't know, a roll, or if you were carrying a bear canister, I'm just going to try and pull it out. You've got a lot of strap that you can utilize to bring something over the top. I don't have a bear canister, so I'm out in Virginia, so there's no bear canister needed right now. So you can see you've got a lot of room up in there if you wanted to bring it on up. And it goes to about the top, essentially, of the entire bag itself. So yeah, there's quite a bit of room in there that you can fill up. I'll give you, in fact, what we might do real quick is I'll pull out the pillows and we'll flip it inside out so you can see the interior of it. And we can actually take a look at the threading and some of the stitch work that they did on this. Because on the exterior, there's no flaws visible. I haven't seen any frayed edges or stitching that went out of a line. They seem to have done a fairly good job on that. On some of the, you can see even where the shock cord went in, they did a pretty decent job at stitching around where the shock cord enters and exits. So now we've got, you can see without the frame or anything in it, it was just a really frameless pack. Let's flip it inside out. Check it out. How easy it is to do that. pretty easy. Let's get all the straps down there. You can see right away on the front, you got the reinforcement for the strap that goes over the top. There's that big long cord that was going over the top of it. So that is what that is attached to. And I'll bring it up to the camera so you can see a little bit easier. So on the bottom, it's got a kind of a diamond pattern on a slightly heavier denier nylon on the bottom. But if you check out some of the stitching, it all seems to have been done very well. I don't know if the black shows up necessarily all that great, but in several spots you can see where they reinforced where it might be connecting to a strap or a thread somewhere. I can definitely feel it on the inside, so it's definitely reinforced. So hopefully that doesn't come undone. You can see on the back where it connects to the actual straps itself. They put some heavy-duty nylon. This is, I don't even know what that is, but that is pretty heavy duty. And then they've reinforced it so that it doesn't come popping out. And I'm holding it by the backpack strap right now. And then you can see how it transitions to a different material. Up on the top, you can see that line that kind of goes across right in there. So that the top is a slightly lighter weight material, or either the back is reinforced with some sort of, maybe it's a sill or a polyurethane coating on it. That is what that looks like. It's like a coating on the inside, because the material is actually the same. I don't know if you can see that, but this is what would be the back of the backpack, and that's the top, and it's the same. But you can see that there's definitely a difference via that line right there. So yeah, that's about it. That's the only frayed. There's a few frayed. Oh, there we go. There's some flaws right there. Let me see if I can get those on the camera very nicely for you. So you can see there's some frayed edging right there. Doesn't feel like the frayed cord is actually attached to anything. It looks like it's more just the seam. There is this reinforced piece right here, which is probably the bottom of the back where the backpack strap reaches into, but that's not what's frayed. So all this does appear to be frayed rather gnarly there. So there's some few loose strings that are floating around right in this area. So I wonder if that's where they started and or stopped the stitching at. So I'll come through with some tweezers and fix that up. But other than that, there's a few loose hairs floating around down in the bottom. But you can see just a few. Nothing really major there. More reinforcements can be seen on the side there. You can see where they reinforced all the stitching. So, would I recommend this pack for the money? I think it's $50 on Amazon. Yeah, I would. It looks like it'll take some abuse. It's pretty well constructed, best I can tell. Holds quite a bit. I had 2 pillows stuffed in there and the thermarest. I put a bunch of stuff in it already, but I put the pillows in so that it showed up nicer. I definitely would recommend this for $50. And you know, if nothing else, it makes a great pack that's a project pack. I think the weight on this is like 2 pounds. I'll throw it on the scale and we'll put it on the video. But I think it's like 2 pounds. It definitely doesn't weigh much of anything at all. And we're back. Yeah, so would I recommend it? Would I recommend this pack? Absolutely. It seems like a good value for the money. There's lots of packs that have the same or very similar features. Maybe they're made out of a different material that go for hundreds of dollars more. And for $50 on Amazon, I think they charge $4 or $5 for shipping from China. This is made in China. For the $4 or $5. And then also on Amazon, you can get a warranty. You can buy in a warranty for the pack. I went ahead and bought the warranty for 2 years for $3. So you got a pack that's warranted for 2 years for around $55. So it's not a bad deal. I know a lot of folks, when they buy things from China, have to wait like months or more sometimes. My pack came in 9 days, so that was really fast. The seller for this particular item on Amazon did a really good job. They communicated with me the whole time. I had a few questions before I bought it. I think online they advertise it in blue, but I sent them a message saying, can I get it in orange? And they complied and said, sure, we'll send it to you in orange. So they were really great about that. I think it was Jenny that I talked to online. But it's a great pack. For 50 bucks, you can't beat it. Highly recommend it. Hit the like button, subscribe. I got more videos coming. We've got the Nemo Tensor review, the Nemo Verve 20 degree review, the Outdoor Vitals review coming. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming. So hit subscribe, turn on the notifications, and I'll be back at you real soon.